Well, welcome along, everybody. This is 2025 Hui FM Talk Story, the official preview show of our performance later on this week. Unfortunately, we have reached the final episode of the series. However, as always, we like to go out with a bang. And to do that, I have none other than the Lūʻau chair, a man who requires no introduction but deserves one in every right. Of course, I'm talking about Mr. Lamaku Darish. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Aloha, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lamaku, and I am a senior this year, and I have the privilege to serve as your Lūʻau chair. I've had my first experience with Lūʻau when I was a freshman. The current Lūʻau chair at the time invited me very last minute to become the MC for our Lūʻau back in 2021, 2022. The theme was around Haloa Nakalau Kapalili, and ever since then, I wanted to get more and more involved, and then look at where I'm at now. I ended up being the chair of the entire program.
If you could summarize your role and how you kind of execute that role in one word, what would that word be?
In one word, I would say kulia, which is the Hawaiian phrase for determined, determination. A lot of what comes with this role is you need to be determined and you need to have grit, because not everything will go the way that you want to. But what's really important is that you need to learn how to continue and kulia forward. There's an ololo no eau, or a proverb in Hawaiian culture called kulia I kanulu, which means strive for the highest peak. So we want to have that kind of determination and grit, because when you expect greatness, you get greatness. And even if it doesn't look the same way that you want it to, it's still greatness regardless.
How has this Lūʻau differed from last year and maybe past few years?
So for me personally, I am the type of person in a leadership position who believes that providing agency to each member of your organization fosters a lot of opportunities for independence, creativity, teamwork. And so I really wanted to prioritize that sort of laissez-faire type of leadership. And I made it very clear about I want to engage with and work with. I always appreciate hearing feedback from everybody, and I'm really thankful for my team, who's been incredibly flexible. A lot of these titles that we have in the Lūʻau committees are nothing more than titles, because we all have the same level of kuleana, or responsibility.
But Lama, you mentioned that sometimes things aren't going to go the way you want them to. When you encounter those situations, how do you work either as an individual and with the other teams to get over those roadblocks and make sure that if it happens again, you're more prepared for how to respond?
Yeah, good question. One of the ways in which I try to combat this when I work with a team is to attempt to instill confidence in them. You can have the confidence in yourself to do things independently. If you're like, hey, I feel like this will greatly benefit Lūʻau, do it. At the same time, even if your kuleana and your job is done, if somebody else you see needs help, you go and help them as well.
What has been your favorite part of the whole process, and what's gotten you the most excited for this year's Lūʻau?
For me, I grew up dancing hula, so this answer might be a little bit biased, but me, my vice chair, we had the opportunity to do observations where we got to go into each dance practice and watch. There's something about watching someone who's never danced for the first time confidently perform, and you can see like, oh my God, I got it. Like, I landed it, and it takes a lot of courage, especially for someone who's never experienced hula or our culture before, and to put yourself in such a vulnerable place and to do it and execute it so beautifully too. It makes me so proud.
All right, Lama, one of our favorite questions that we've asked throughout the series is, if you could invite someone to Lūʻau who's not coming this year, who would you choose and why would you invite them?
I would invite my late kumuhula, Lena Ala Kalamahaini. She was the reason why my mother fell in love with hula, and it's the same reason why I fell in love with hula. She's also become the reason why I advocate and I practice hula to this day. Love you and miss you, Kumu Lena Ala.
Well, everyone, that was our conversation with Lamaku. I would like to thank you greatly for all that you do to get Lūʻau running and to just make this show as best as it can be. I want to thank you for also just coming on the show and talking story with us.
I love talking story. What are you talking about?
And as always, it is very nice talking story with you all. From now until next time, we're going to see you at Lūʻau.